ahead. You know.
What do you mean?
Come on, come on! I gotta get home to watch the Jets game.
Eleanor, they're 2-6.
It's the Patriots, Lindsay. It's Monday Night Football.
Meaning?
Meaning the Patriots will choke.
When's the last time the Jets were in the Super Bowl?
Oh, come on. When's the last time the Patriots won one?
They will.
Right, as soon as the Red Sox win the World Series.
Are you ready for some football?
Any court of law would concur. The New England Patriots have had a frustration-filled past. They've never won an NFL title, but their brilliant quarterback Drew Bledsoe has brought them agonizingly close. In Super Bowl 31, the Patriots' hopes for that first championship were crushed by the Packers. Bledsoe reflects.
It just stung right to the core of your soul to go down there and make it that far and then not win the game.
This season, Bledsoe has the Patriots sailing along in the NFL's toughest division.
He looks. He fires deep down the field. Terry Glenn has it. And he goes in. Touchdown. Bledsoe goes back to throw. Looks. Fires. Touchdown. John Jefferson.
You play to win the championship, you know, and you know, if you're playing for any other reason, then you're wrong, you know, and that's what we intend to do this year.
Bill Parcells, the coach who took Bledsoe and the Patriots to Super Bowl 31, now brings his New York Jets to Foxborough to face the New England Patriots. Two AFC East rivals battle tonight on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Get underway. The NFL best are ready to play. When these two meet, it's a matter of survival. The Jets and Pats in a Tuna Bowl revival. You better be ready. Strap in and hold tight. New York, New England, next chapter tonight. Hit it. Come on and hit it. Come on and get ready. Are you ready for the football? A Monday night party. Yeah, it's a Super Bowl season. 30 years and still rocking. Al and Boomer are upset. Crowd in sight. All my rowdy friends are here for Monday night. That's right.
Some 30 miles south of Boston, Foxborough, Massachusetts. Home of Foxborough Stadium sold out tonight as the New York Jets come in to face the New England Patriots. 42 degrees and brisk. Al Michaels with Boomer Esiason and Leslie Visser. The Jets had such high hopes coming into the season after going to the AFC Championship game last year, but on opening day, Vinny Testaverde ruptured his Achilles tendon. To add insult to injury, the Patriots beat them with 3 seconds left in the game on a field goal to win 30-28. They've been going with Rick Meyer at quarterback. Now they make another change. It's Ray Lucas tonight. The Patriots, meanwhile, eked their way into the playoffs last year, went out in the first round, lost running back Robert Edwards in an off-season freak injury that may be career-ending, and people thought they'd be an 8-8 team. But here they are, 6-2, and the Patriots' 2 losses have been by a total of 3 points. They're that close to being unbeaten. Good matchup tonight in Foxborough, the Jets and the Patriots on Monday Night Football.
This game can be heard using the SAP feature on your TV set where available. Brought to you by National Car Rental.
Kickoff at Foxborough Stadium approaching for the Jets against the Patriots. And Boomer, I mentioned that Rick Meyer has been starting. Bill Parcells goes to Ray Lucas tonight. He says we just need to score more points. So what does Lucas give them that Meyer doesn't?
He gives them juice, and that's exactly what Bill Parcells wants. You know, last week in the first half alone, they called 19 pass attempts. They only got 10 of those off because of either sacks or Rick pulling it down and running with it. Now, Bill Parcells says Rick Meyer did not give any games away. He just wasn't doing enough to help us win. He wants Ray Lucas to go in there, throw the ball downfield, have some fun, and just let it go.
He'll have his hands full tonight. I mentioned a lot of people thought the Patriots looked like an 8-8 team at the start of the season. They're very close to being unbeaten. How are they doing it?
Well, Al, you alluded to it in the beginning. You said that Robert Edwards was hurt in a freak injury, and that's why most people thought that they were going to be 8-8. But the emergence of really Terry Allen, the running back, the longtime running back of the Redskins, has really ignited this offense. And Drew Bledsoe, one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. Pete Carroll has kept them together. Defense is opportunistic, but it's all on Bledsoe's shoulders tonight.
Good matchup. Bill Parcells coming back to Foxborough. The Jets in town against the Patriots. Kickoff when we come back.
ABC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Pete Carroll in his third season as the Patriots head coach. He's with Leslie Visser. Hi, Leslie.
He thinks they're going to kick off. Now, halfway through the season, one of the surprise teams, a great year, Pete. What is most important tonight?
It's so important to be consistent in this league, week in and week out. It's such a challenge for us to play up each week. We need to learn how to do it. Here's a great challenge tonight. We're going to need it all the way through the rest of the schedule, so hopefully we can get that done. It's a big night tonight.
Hopefully, Pete. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Al.
Thank you, Leslie. If there's a prevailing wind here, it is blowing north to south tonight. In other words, left to right. You look at the field, and the Patriots will be going with it in the first quarter. Adam Vinatieri to kick off. Only 2 touchbacks this season. And the average drive start for the opponents, the 28-yard line. Aaron Glenn and Dwight Stone, who is second in the league in kickoff returns, averaging nearly 30 yards per run back, standing at the goal line. Crowd ready, Patriots and Jets are ready, and Monday Night Football is underway from Foxborough. Aaron Glenn takes it at the 3-yard line, and the coverage is good, but there's a flag down initially on the very first play of the night as the tackle is made at the 22-yard line, and the referee tonight is Bernie Kukar.
One of the things that I've been struck by in watching Pete Carroll is just how relaxed he seems this year. And he seems like he's totally in control, and you can see right there by Bernie Kukar, he told you that that was a block below the waist, and you can't do that on special teams.
On the kicking team, number 31, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
That is Kato Serwanga. As you look at Ray Lucas, who played his college football at Rutgers, was here as a Patriot in Parcells' last season, 96. Martin and Anderson in the backfield, Johnson and Crevetta the wideouts, and Fred Baxter the tight end. We'll look at the line in a moment. The ball is at 36 after the penalty, and Lucas looking to go deep early on and then has to dump it off, and that's incomplete. Looking downfield, couldn't get it away, and the pressure was put on by Brandon Mitchell and Henry Thomas. Up front, the Jets tonight will rely on 2 rookies, Fabini, Jenkins, and Mawai. On the left side, Mawai at center, and then Randy Thomas and Ryan Young, right guard and right tackle. 2 rookies, Jumbo Elliott, bad back, in uniform, but not starting. And so you've got Young, a rookie out of Kansas State, and Thomas, a rookie out of Mississippi State, on the right side of the line. Second down and 10 from the 36-yard line. The fake to Martin, and Lucas sets up a backside screen to Fred Baxter, but then he falls down shy of the line of scrimmage. Teddy Bruschi is there to pounce on him. Let's take a look at the New England defense. The Patriots, base 4-3 up front. Mitchell, Eaton, Henry Thomas, and Willie McGinnis having a very good year. The linebackers, you've got Slade, Andy Katzenmoyer, the rookie from Ohio State in the middle, and Bruschi. And the secondary is great. Law, a Pro Bowler. Israel at the other corner. Malloy, a Pro Bowler. And Carter are the safeties. Law from time to time tonight matched up with Keyshawn Johnson. And that'll be a beauty to watch one-on-one. In fact, they're facing each other right now as it is Lucas throwing to Richie Anderson. A flag comes in at the end of the play. A fumble, the ball is loose. The Pats think they have it, but there's a flag down at the 45-yard line. Forbett actually came up with the ball. The penalty is against the Jets as Parcells looks on.
And it's on number 80, Wayne Forbett. He is blocking downfield knowing that he had a screen underneath him.
80 offense. Penalty is declined.
But you could see that Bill Parcells came out tonight and he wanted to get Ray Lucas in the game. One of the things about Ray Lucas, Al, is that he is extremely high-strung. He's an in-your-face type of player. He had an opportunity on the first play to hit Richie Anderson down the sideline against Chris Slade. But because of the young offensive line on that side of the Jet offense, they didn't give him enough time to get it off.
4th and 3, and Tom Tupa, the ex-Patriot, having a good year, but this is not a good punt. And takes a Patriot bounce and is down at the 27-yard line. A minute and a half into the game. Drew Bledsoe was the #1 pick in the 1993 draft. And fully mature now in his 7th season, has already been to the Super Bowl, has guided this team to a record of 6-2. 13 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. In the backfield with him, Terry Allen and Tony Carter, the blocking back. Jefferson and Glenn outside, and coaches the tight ends. Armstrong, Irwin, the rookie Damian Woody from Boston College, Rucci and Moss up front. So their anchor, a rookie, the #1 pick out of BC, number 55. And on first down, they give the ball to Terry Allen, and Allen takes it up to the 32, a gain of 3. Defensively, the Jets played basically a 3-4, though last week played a lot of 4-3, and we'll see some of that as well tonight. But in the base 3-4, Lyle Ferguson and Pleasant up front. And the linebackers are Lewis, Brian Cox, Marvin Jones, and Roman Piper. In the secondary, Glenn and Coleman at the corners. Green and Atwater, who's been hurt, are the safeties. Steve back after a 3-game absence because of a hamstring. As Allen swings to the outside and goes out of bounds about 4 yards shy of the first down, and another flag comes down. 2, in fact. Victor Green hit him late.
And you could see now how Terry Allen has basically evolved into this offense. Al, when the Patriots run more than they pass in regular season games, they're 20-3 when Drew Bledsoe is their quarterback. And this guy has added the spark. And take a look at the late hit by number 21 right here, Victor Green. With a little push there from Roman Pfeiffer. But this is the guy that everybody's in New England.
By defense, unnecessary roughness, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Is saying is the catalyst for their success. You know, coming into this league this year, they felt like Robert Edwards was going to be their guy. He got hurt over in Hawaii in a freak flag football game over there on the beach, and all of a sudden they were left looking for somebody, and they found Terry Allen, and he's been a great mentor for Kevin Falk, their rookie that they got out of LSU.
And Falk comes into the game. He sees his first action, and Bledsoe had his arm hit as he threw, intended for Terry Glenn. Brian Cox put the pressure on. It'll be 2nd down, 10. Yeah, the Edwards accident or injury, as it were, in a made-for-television show with NFL Properties running the show in Hawaii. On the beach, as you see, Cox hitting the arm of Bledsoe. Edwards hurt. They knew he'd be out at least for the season. The question is, will he return? Pete Carroll hopeful. If not next year, at least the year after. Edwards working very hard at rehabbing. 2nd down and 10. And the pass is caught, but out of bounds by Sean Jefferson. Jason Ferguson put the pressure on Bledsoe that time. 3rd and 10.
And Jason Ferguson is going to be a key player for the Jets tonight, not only to stop the run in the middle, but also he's going against the rookie Damian Woody. Their choice that they got in return for the Bill Parcells signing. And basically what Jason Ferguson should be able to do is to control the middle. He's their run stopper. They're much better against the run when he's on the field. And if he can create pressure like that up the middle, it could be a long night for Drew.
3rd down and 10 at the 50-yard line. Patriots out of the gun for the first time. That's Glenn in motion. Bledsoe with good protection, but the secondary does its job, and Drew, not noted for his rushing ability, is taken down at the 45-yard line. 4th and 5. James Farrier makes the tackle.
That's certainly not Doug Flutie running right there.
No, it is not. In fact, Bledsoe, now in his 7th season in the league, has never scored a rushing touchdown.
Well, you know where he's going to be. He's going to be right in the pocket. Now, he will step up. He will hold on to the football. The Jets know this. He's been knocked down quite a few times this year, but one of the things he's not strong at is getting up there and running and making a first down.
Line of scrimmage is the Jet 45. Lee Johnson to do the kicking. Dedrick Ward is back. And that is Brian Cox, who came across the line of scrimmage. Bernie Kukar has already had a busy first 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
This will be interesting if they call it on the Jets.
Timeout, New England, before any infraction. Timeout.
There you go.
A wasted timeout. 11:50 to go in the opening quarter. It'll be 4th down, and the pass to a punt when we come back to Foxborough. Aerial camera tonight provided by Southwest Airlines as you look down into Foxborough Stadium. Meanwhile, we can tell you Enhanced TV is online right now with Monday Night Football. Get live up-to-the-minute stats, play our live interactive game and trivia. Go to ESPN.com or NFL.com and log on to Enhanced TV. Patriots had to take a timeout. It's 4th down and 5 now from the Jet 45 with Lee Johnson to do the booting.
His first time on Monday night since 1992. You know why, Al?
She was a Bengal.
That's right.
You would know.
We didn't get many pops on Monday night there.
And the left-footed Johnson sends one up into the brisk night air, and it bounces at the goal line and then into the end zone. So there is Vinny Testaverde, and Vinny on opening day in the first half against the Patriots. Non-contact. Down he went on the AstroTurf on the men, gone for the season. And of course, they obviously hope to have him back in full health next year.
And this team has been in hangover situation over Vinny's loss. I didn't realize. Take a look at this. Jets have passed in the first 3 plays of the game for the first time this season. But talked to Vinny down on the sideline before the game. He says he's feeling good. His rehab's going well. And he should be ready to go full speed by minicamp next year.
Meanwhile, Lucas gives the ball now to Curtis Martin, and the ex-Patriot picks up 7. They pass on their first 3 plays of tonight's game. After last week, they handed the ball to Martin 38 times in their 12-7 win over the Arizona Cardinals.
But as I said earlier, they called 19 pass plays in the first half last week, and basically only attempted 10. And that was because Rick Meyer was either running with the ball or he was sacked. And Bill was saying, you know, that's tentative. That's a guy that's playing not to make a mistake. I want my quarterback to be effective. I want him to do something out there.
And here's Martin picking up the first down up at the 35. And Boomer, why not? If you're 2-6, and let's face it, they're not in the race right now. They're in the toughest division in all of football. And right now they are, as we begin this game, they need a miracle to get into the playoffs. So you might as well take a chance.
Absolutely. And certainly Ray Lucas is the type of player that can inspire his teammates. The players, in talking to them all week long this week, tell me that he looks like he's focused, that he's ready to go, he's excited. And guys breed off of that stuff.
First down at the 34-yard line. Martin swings to the outside. So after they throw 3 passes on their first 3 plays, they go back to the ground game. And he takes it up to the 38-yard line. Bernie Parcells is the backup running back, the ex-Dolphin, but with Curtis Martin, you're looking at a true workhorse in the classic sense of that name, because he, or Parcells, has been the guy for Bill who was able to carry the ball when he was first here under Parcells, and then Parcells able to get him with Curtis a free agent after his 3rd year here, and carries for a 4th consecutive time up to the 43, where he's tackled by Malloy.
But he was a free agent with compensation, meaning that when the Jets signed him, they had to give something up to get him. They gave up a draft choice and had to pay an awful lot of money to get him here, to kind of make the Patriots let him go, as opposed to paying him the amount of money that the Jets offered. And certainly he has been the workhorse, and he's done it quietly. He's really a terrific guy, and certainly somebody who is really loving the situation that he's finding himself in now.
3rd down and 1 at the 43-yard line. And they toss it back to Martin, so he carries for a 5th straight time and takes it to the New England 46-yard line, tripped up there by Chris Carter. When you look at Martin, it's hard to believe. Here is a guy only in his 5th year in the league, but already he has on 6 occasions, along with Earl Campbell, carried the ball 35 or more times in the game. And the all-time record, Walter Payton, with 7 such games.
And when you see that, you know the running game is working for you, and Bill Parcells wants more out of the quarterback position. Defense is playing well, special teams playing well. And certainly his running back is as well, too.
They call his number again, so that's 6 consecutive carries for Martin, who takes it to the 45, tackled there by Eaton.
Now, didn't we talk to Bill Parcells yesterday? He said, you're not going to back off a little bit. I've been using Curtis a little bit too much.
He said that, but then he comes out with 3 passes and then goes right back to what Bill loves. And let's face it, Bill has won so many games through his career with the Giants in particular, somewhat with New England and now with the Jets, by playing clock ball.
Well, you know, when he was with New England, however,
that was a different story.
Drew Bledsoe was throwing the ball like crazy.
Here's Martin at 7 consecutive carries, but this one may not go into the books. He's got a flag here. Willie McGinnis is down, and here is a guy with a holding call coming up on the Jets. McGinnis may be the last guy defensively they could afford to lose.
They're saying he's having a terrific season. This is the first season up until now.
77 offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
That where he's been relatively injury-free, and talking to Pete Carroll before the game is telling me this guy is cat quick and he's having a great season. Terrible loss right here.
So major concern for Pete. Injury timeout, 7:54 left in the quarter. As McGinnis is able to walk off the field under his own power, Boomer.
There he is. There's McGinnis, and here's Chad Eaton, a defensive tackle, pursuing like all good defensive linemen. He gets leg whipped by his own player, and he got up and walked off. It looked to me like he took one to the upper thigh as opposed to hurting his knee.
So McGinnis, at least for the moment, appears to be okay. After the penalty right now, the Jets with a 2nd and long, and Bernie Parmalee comes in to give Curtis Martin a breather. And Andy Katzenmoyer, the rookie out of Ohio State, getting to play every day in the middle because of the absence of that man, Ted Johnson, who tore his bicep in training camp, is expected, though, back probably the week after next.
Here's the big cat right in the middle, number 59 out of Ohio State. Came in with a very big reputation, and he's starting to live up to it now.
3rd down and 19. 7:07 left in the quarter. No score in Foxborough. And they keep it on the ground. It's a draw from Martin, and he's tackled at the 49-yard line.
Well, Al, you go back to what you said earlier. Why not just let it fly? Drop back and throw some passes. And we talk about quarterbacks, and we talk about situations and how coaches like to handle situations. And it seems to me that Bill Parcells is going back to the way he coached the Giants when he won the Super Bowl. Good, solid defense, good special teams, and try to run the football a little bit. Hasn't given Ray Lucas much of a chance here this second series.
Teammate! On 2 for the punt. Troy Brown will let it bounce at the 1 and into the end zone for the touchback. And the Pats will take over at the 20-yard line with 6:26 left in the first quarter in Foxborough. As you look at Boston, no score. College football, great traditional rivalries take place this Saturday. Ohio State and Michigan from Ann Arbor starts today at noon Eastern time. And then you'll either see Penn State against Michigan State in the later game, or UCLA taking on USC in Los Angeles. Saturday, college football right here on ABC. Brian Cox looks on from the bench.
That means the Jets are in a 4-3 front now. Also, they're switching up, trying to confuse Drew Bledsoe to hold them down the run a little bit.
Little toss back to Terry Allen. Picks up 2. Report from the Patriots on the McGinnis injury, right thigh bruise. They are listing his return as questionable.
Took a pretty good shot to the thigh, but now as you look at the Jet defense, they go to the 4-3. They put Marvin Jones in the middle. And Marvin Jones is sudden impact, and they have Roman Pfeiffer and Mo Lewis on the outside. Now, Marvin was a rookie when I played with the Jets, and I'll tell you, this guy is ferocious. He can come at you, and he can explode. And he is quick, and he can make some big plays on defense for you.
2nd and 8 from the 22. Bledsoe hanging right in there. Throws, caught, 1st down, and that is Ron Rutledge, the backup tight end to Ben Coates, up to the 35. Ben made a lot of headlines, contending he wasn't getting the ball enough in their last one against Arizona before the bye. So Drew decides it's time to go back to the tight end, but the tight end is named Rutledge.
Boy, he's going to be mad now. And you can see Drew Bledsoe just waiting, giving his guys time to get open in the zones. And watch Rutledge go against Jones and against Mo Lewis, and What that shows you is that Drew Bledsoe is just real confident in this offense now, and he's seeing things.
13-yard gain. Here's Terry Allen with 2 reconstructed knees. He missed what would have been his rookie season with Minnesota, had knee surgery, and that kept him out, and then 3 years later had it on the other knee. But he's been very productive with Minnesota, with Washington, and now reborn in New England.
They love him here, too, and one of the big things about him is that he's been a great mentor for Kevin Falk, their young rookie out of LSU. The guys in Washington, where he came from, the Redskins, said he was a great mentor for Stephen Davis, who's having a great year for the Washington Redskins. So this guy's a true pro.
2nd and 9, the ball at the 36-yard line. Allen, the tailback of the eye, gets the football. Terry takes it up to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5 with 4.5 to go in the period. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Chrysler, giving you back the romance of driving. Windstar, brave new business. Miller Lite, taste a true Pilsner. And the Intel Pentium 3 processor, the power for a great internet experience. Keyshawn going fishing. Ice fishing. 3rd and 5. Bledsoe under pressure, can't escape. He was tackled by Marvin Jones, had him by the ankle and wouldn't let go.
Now, I talked about the quickness of Marvin Jones previously. You can see he comes right through the middle around the corner. There's Bill Belichick, the defensive coordinator for the Jets, trying to confuse Drew Bledsoe with different looks in the defensive secondary and also blitzing his linebackers. Watch Marvin Jones. Here he comes. He stops and he comes flying around the corner. Difficult for a guy like Drew to avoid there. It's Doug Flutie. You got to be careful if you're Marvin Jones coming in there.
Marvin Jones with his first sack since the 1997 season. The left-footed Johnson sends one to the 18-yard line. Dedrick Ward brings it back to the 24. Back comes Lucas. Back comes the Jet offense. 3:21 left in a scoreless first quarter in Foxborough. Well, Sergio Garcia will compete in his first Skins game, joining Fred Couples, Mark O'Meara, and David Duval in one of America's favorite Thanksgiving traditions, the Skins game. Thanksgiving weekend right here on ABC. That'll be fun. Ernie Zampese, he's had a lot of fun calling the plays for Bledsoe and the Patriots this year. Jets have the ball from the 25-yard line. Curtis Martin up to the 33, a gain of 8, tackled there by Chris Carter.
You know, the other thing that you're seeing now, Al, is that they're running left quite a bit. And one of the things that probably had happened early in the game is that Bill Parcells was a little spooked on that first play that he called. The pressure came from the right side. That's where the rookies are for the New York Jets on the offensive line. And Ray Lucas got hit. So now let's go back to the running game. Let's calm everybody down and let's run left. That's where our guys are that we feel comfortable with.
Well-made point with Elliott out. Fabini goes over to the left side. The 2 rookies at right guard and right tackle. And this time they'll go behind the rookies, and Martin is able to pick up 3 and get the first down. Up to the 36-yard line, tackled there by Sullivan.
I still got to believe that he's got to go downtown to Keyshawn Johnson. When you have a player of Keyshawn's ability, you have to get him involved early and often. And certainly right now, the Jets have not done that. Little play-action pass, get Ray Lucas out of the pocket, and try to hit Keyshawn one-on-one downfield.
Well, they started the game with 3 passes for the first time this year. Now they have 10 consecutive runs, plus a run on a play that was negated because of an offensive penalty. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line and out of the air. And Lucas, if he can get rid of it, shows his mobility, and this will turn into a run, and a good one, in fact, as Lucas is finally forced out of bounds in Patriot territory at the 47-yard line. Worked his way around Greg Spires.
You know, and that's what a football player does. Remember, when he was here with the Patriots, he was a special teams guy, and he still was a special teams guy on the Jets, but became more of a quarterback because of the necessity after Vinny Testaverde got hurt. But you could see his football player instincts right here. Not panicking, juking number 94 right there, Greg Spires, and then making more plays and making guys miss. And that's a football player first and a quarterback second.
1st and 10 after a 17-yard run at the 47-yard line. McGinnis is back in the game, and they give the ball to Martin, who picks up 2.
Go!
Lucas is making his second start. Parcells went to him against Indianapolis on the 17th of October in a game the Jets took an early lead in, and then he threw an ill-advised interception at the end, which led to an Indy field goal. And he hurt his ankle at the end of that game, Boomer, and some thought at that particular point he might be gone for the season. It turned out to be 3 weeks.
Well, the interesting thing about they had that game won, and Bill had called the play at the end of the game that forced Lucas into throwing the interception. You know, this is a team that could easily be 4-3 if at the end of games they were managed a little bit better.
They have lost 3 games in the last 30 seconds, 2nd and 8. And Lucas fires over the middle, and that's incomplete. The coverage is good. You had 4 blue shirts surrounding Keyshawn. He will draw a crowd.
He does draw a crowd on the field and off the field. But Al, you're right. This is a team, the Jets, that defensively have played reasonably well. Special teams have been real good. Tom Cooper, their punter, is having an outstanding year. But the offense just hasn't held up its end of the bargain. And really some miscues on behalf of Bill Parcells and calling some of the games. The first game against the Patriots, who went for 2 twice, didn't make it, faked the field goal, basically took 5 points off the board, and they lost by 2.
3rd down and 8, 3 receivers set to the left. Lucas looks that way, throws that way, and it's intercepted after it was tipped. Chris Carter comes up with the football after Wayne Trebek couldn't hold on to it. First turnover of the game, and then Slade gets into it with Lucas and a couple of other Jets.
The only thing I can say about this is what Bill Parcells literally wants out of his quarterback, some emotion. He doesn't want the interception, but he certainly wants the emotion. And you can see the other players coming to his rescue after Chris Slade, and he started pushing around a little bit. But he's a little bit nervous, he's a little bit jacked up, and that's why the last 2 balls have sailed on him.
New England with the ball at its own 36 in the waning moments of a scoreless first quarter.
On the other side.
Yes, Bledsoe gets sacked, and they whistle the play dead because Roman Pfeiffer had him corralled for the sack. The longtime Ram, Roman Pfeiffer, in his first year as a Patriot.
Al, what the Jets are doing on defense, one time it's 4-man line, the next time it's a 3-man line. Now on a 4-man line, it's pretty simple to know who's rushing. Usually the guys that got their hands down on the ground are coming after you. But when you start seeing numbers in the 50s come after you, they're blitzing. And I think right now they're trying to confuse Drew Bledsoe.
That's the end of the first quarter in Foxborough with a score. The Jets nothing and the Patriots nothing. And Monday Night Football returns after this message and a word from our ABC station. You look at Bledsoe, you can see the effect that he's had on this team. His 97 starts, 15 over 500. And the history of this team, a checkered one to say the least, well under 500. When others start, as Terry Allen makes the catch, and it's a minimal gain up to the 29-yard line. James Farrier on 2nd down and long. It's Lamont Warren, the receiver there. It'll be 3rd down and 16 at the 30-yard line.
I think that last graphic kind of indicates just how great Drew Bledsoe has been for the New England Patriots and how he has stabilized that position. Every team in the NFL would love to have a guy that's going to line up every week and is going to lead their team to victory and give their team a chance. And certainly this guy has done that for the Patriots.
And hang in there. He and Peyton Manning, the only 2 quarterbacks in the league to throw every pass for their respective teams this year. And that pass is incomplete. He tried to get it into Glenn. So they've got some great receivers. But the only 2 guys he's hit tonight is the backup tight end Rutledge and the 3rd down back Warren.
Well, if there's one guy that knows him, it's Bill Parcells, and it's going to be Bill Belichick. And these guys are going to kind of confuse them. They're going to bring different kind of looks in the secondary. They're going to bring in blitzes all night long. And this guy right there, Bill Belichick, he knows his stuff, and he knows how to confuse quarterbacks.
Belichick, the coach in waiting when Parcells decides he's had enough. It's in Bill's deal. He is the Jets' next head coach. And that's a bad kick as Johnson spins one that stops at the 42-yard line.
And that was indicative of how difficult it is to punt in the wind right there.
Low and left to right as you look at it. Early second quarter, no score, 28-yard boot. Aerial shots provided tonight by Southwest Airlines. Al Michaels with Boomer Esiason and Leslie Visser. Monday Night Football in Foxborough. Breezy. Temperature at game time 42. Wind out of the north at about 15.
Now they're going with the wind. They have good field position. Let's see if he puts it up right here.
And Lucas will on his first pass. He hits Corbett, and Wayne has to make the catch backing up and is tackled at the 46. He bruised his hand. There was some fear last week that Corbett may have broken his hand. And remember, he missed a good part of the first part of the season because of a broken foot, but it was just a bruise.
Terrific third down receiver, a kid that came into the league 5 years ago with the aspirations of just making the football team, and the last few years he's been playing at Pro Bowl caliber. He's certainly one of the best Jets and one of the best finds the Jets have ever had.
That was the first completion to a wide receiver by either team, and the snap goes through Lucas's legs, corralled by Martin, and it's a net loss of 1 as he gets it back up to the 46-yard line. Kevin Mawai, the center, through the legs of Lucas.
You mean this isn't one of the trick plays Bill Parcells was telling us about yesterday?
I don't think so, but
with the head snap right there, just slipped right through his hands, and Curtis Martin, aware, picks up the ball and makes something out of it.
Not the fumble Ruski.
So.
Third down and 7. Jets at the 45. Again, trips right, 3 receivers. Set to the right. And Lucas throws, and it is caught for a first down, and Keyshawn Johnson gets into the act, so it takes Keyshawn about 17 minutes and 20-some-odd seconds before he makes his first catch. He's tackled by Soenga.
Now, Bill Parcells might be calling the plays, but Charlie Weiss is the one that designs them. And take a look at this, a little triangle formation. Keyshawn and Wayne cross, and then Keyshawn follows him back underneath. When you're playing a team like the Patriots who like to play a lot of zone, you flood those zones and you try to create illusions, and that's exactly what Charlie Weiss right there is able to do on that play.
Reflectively. From the 44-yard line, Lucas throwing on the run, hits Corbett at the 30-yard line, and he takes it all the way down to the 16, where Carter stops him.
So now you can see the things that Ray Lucas brings to you. He's going to run around the corner. He's not going to be worried about the pressure that's around. He's going to show good poise, and he's going to fire the ball. And it looks like now he's calming down a little bit, Al. Early on, he threw the ball a little bit high. He was a little bit nervous, and that's expected.
He's now 5 out of 8.
Take a look at this. Throwing the ball on the run against the grain. And just look for number 80. He'll catch it and make a play for you.
From the 18-yard line. And they give it to Martin. Flag comes in. For the moment, it's a 2-yard pickup. Eaton stops him. Get the call in a moment from Bernie Kufar. And again, a scuffle. Offside against New England.
Well, right now, obviously, everything going in the Jets' direction, and Pete Carroll's got to be wondering, what do we have to do to get this offense moving a little bit?
Offside, 53 defense, lined up in a neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And talking to Bill Parcells yesterday, matter of fact, he said, hey, we got to keep it close. We got to play a little defense. We got to play a little special teams. Maybe we make a play or two on offense. We're good enough to hang with anybody. The question is can we play 4 quarters?
Well, they're hanging with them. Offensive production tonight dominated by New York, at least to this point in the game. It's 1st and 5. Biggest threat of the game by either team here, and they give it to Martin, who's inside the 10, and he'll move the chains as he takes it to the 7-yard line. That's a first down. Tackled by Andy Katzenmoyer.
And a terrific block by number 84, Fred Baxter, who was pulling from the backside, and he led Curtis Martin around the corner. Take a look right here. He's coming from the left side of your screen, number 84 underneath. And watch him lead Curtis Martin right through the hole. And that's the way you block and open a hole for your back.
From the 6, first down for the Jets. Martin. A hard yard to the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal, tackled there by Henry Thomas. Already fed Martin the ball 12 times for 61 yards.
So I guess he was just feeding us a line yesterday about not using Curtis Martin quite as much.
Well,
he's about as political as they come, Bill Parcells, isn't he?
Bill just figures out the best way to win a game, and the best way to win a game is a healthy dose of Curtis Martin.
And you could see just how slowly the Jet offense is just kind of methodically running the plays and eating up time as well.
2nd and goal. Lucas throws, then dropped. Johnson said he was held, and he may get the call as a flag down.
This is this matchup we've been talking about. Number 24, Ty Law, and also number 19, Keyshawn Johnson.
Push off on Johnson. Offensive interference.
Pass interference. Number 19 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Al, last week we had a game out in Minnesota, and you saw Randy Moss run into a stationary Deion Sanders. Now, and the ball was on Deion Sanders. And look at Ty Law kind of grab Keyshawn, and Keyshawn trying to get away from him. I don't necessarily know what interference is anymore.
Yep.
I mean, if it was interference on Randy Moss, on Deion Sanders last week in that game, when Deion Sanders was the one that had his position stationary and Randy Moss initiating the contact, how could that be offensive pass interference?
And not only that, it takes them so long after that goal to get up to the line of scrimmage. The play clock was running down, and they have to burn a timeout. So the ball is back at the 15, and it's 2nd and goal when we come back.
Al, right here, you make the call. Who initiates the contact? Now watch Keyshawn Johnson's right arm go up into the neck of Ty Law, then Ty Law grabbing on. It could go either way, but literally both of them committed a penalty right there.
Exactly. Hardest call to make. Every official will tell you that. 2nd down and goal from the 15-yard line after the penalty. Lucas with good protection over the middle to Martin, who got free, and he takes it down to the 1-yard line. And Ray Lucas telling Parcells, we've got that much.
And what I like about Ray Lucas on this point, he did not try to force it into the end zone and jam it into Keyshawn Johnson, who I'm sure is lobbying for passes. You know, Keyshawn Johnson is the new 7-Eleven. He's open 24 hours a day. But right here, Ray drops his sights, drops it off to Curtis Martin, give it to your running back and let him make a play for you, and that's exactly what he did there. A+ for Ray Lucas, reading the defense down here and noticing that it was a zone.
Nose of the ball directly on the 1-yard line, 3rd down and goal. In a tight formation. Play action. Lucas throws wide open as Johnson for the touchdown. What a call that was.
What a terrific call. What a terrific fake by Ray Lucas. And take a look at Keyshawn Johnson, a little bit angry at that last pass interference call. But, Al, it's not play action, it's run action. There are two different things here. This is a heavy play fake, and it sounds like a run. Everybody's grunting, everybody's groaning, and they're hitting in there. And the defense commits.
In a perfect running situation, 3rd and goal. That's what you figure out of a tight formation.
And play action passing is where the offensive line actually retreats and pass blocks. You don't hear the difference between the two.
You see, Bill wasn't kidding about opening it up.
He wasn't.
Who would have figured that call? John Hall for the point after. Cooper with a hold.
After this weekend in the NFL, anything is possible.
After this year in the NFL, anything is possible. Right. We know that. 8:47 to the half. Jets take the lead in Foxborough, 7-0. Part of the season in Green Bay's camp, and then when Testaverde got hurt, they moved him in. Now he's back out. Not only out, he's the number 3 quarterback right now, because Tom Tupa, who is the punter, is the number 2 quarterback. And if you went to Meyer before the 4th quarter, you'd lose Tupa. So they need Lucas to stay healthy. The kickoff taken at the 2 inside the goal line, 2 yards in, and Kevin Falk, the rookie out of LSU, being chased by Hall, and finally being chased and caught from behind inside the 10 by Marcus Coleman, to the utter disgust of Bill Parcells.
All week long, he's been singing the praises of his special teams, and right now they let him down, and Kevin Falk makes a statement. But how about Marcus Coleman catching Kevin Falk from behind? Where did he come from?
To save the touchdown. Ooh. 2 yards in. This is the kid picked out of the second round, in the second round, out of LSU.
You got to wrap up if you're going to make the tackle, and Chris Hayes, one of their best special teams players, number 30, didn't do it.
Now first and goal from the 8, and Terry Allen takes the ball to the 5. Second and goal.
It's interesting, we should point out that number 30, Chris Hayes, made an outstanding special teams play last week against the Arizona Cardinals, and one of the best special teams plays that Bill Parcells has said that he's ever seen. And this week he comes back and he misses the tackle. He had him dead to rights right there on the 25-yard line.
Took it 3 yards in the end zone officially and runs it back 95. It is second down and goal from the 5. And Allen goes nowhere. There's a marker down. Cox makes the hit.
Illegal motion this time on the Patriots. Out last year we were here on Monday night. It just seemed like this was the game that kind of catapulted the Jets on their run to the AFC Championship game. And it was a game where it was nip and tuck all the way until the fourth quarter. But the Jet defense...
No motion. 2 men on the offense in the backfield moving. Penalty is declined.
But the Jet defense played a spirited game last year. They got a bunch of turnovers, and you can see the way that they're playing now. If they hold them here to a field goal, or better yet, a turnover, what a statement they're making. And there's Brian Cox, their leader.
Third down and goal, and a very key play coming up here at the 5-yard line. Allen and Warren in this split back alignment. Glenn in the slot, Jefferson outside. That's Warren in motion. And Bledsoe on third and goal throws over the middle, and it's caught at the 1-yard line as Terry Allen makes the catch, and the touchdown is prevented by Omar Stoutmeyer. The crowd, as any crowd, wants the coach to do. They want him to go for it.
And they're going to go for it. And the interesting thing here, I think Pete Carroll senses that he's got to get in the end zone and try to regain the momentum a little bit.
It is fourth and goal at the 1.
Al, I don't know about this. If they score, great. He looks like a hero. But
sure. I agree with you. I kicked the field goal.
If he doesn't,
they don't get it. Yeah, that's exactly the problem. It's 7-0. It's early in the game.
And look at this defense. Look how excited they are, and look at the kind of way that the New England offense is moping around yet. The one thing you don't want to do is give the opposing team the momentum on a play like that.
They put Jason Wilkes, 91, in for some bulk, and that's exactly what they needed. They stop him. Well, the Jets with a goal line stand. The Patriots with a dubious move going for it on fourth and goal. After the great run back by Falk, they come up with 0, and the Jets with a 7-0 lead in the ball at their own 2-yard line.
I wouldn't doubt if he takes one shot here going down the sideline.
Got a 4-receiver set. And a single back, and the Patriots are going to blitz, and it's caught at the 5-yard line. It's caught by Wayne Corbett, who is taken down by Steve Israel.
Al, what I will tell you now, if Bill Parcells is back here allowing him to throw, Ray Lucas to throw, it shows you how much confidence he has in him. Take a look at what he did in his last series here. This was the run against, throwing it against the grain to Wayne Corbett, and then the touchdown pass to Keyshawn Johnson. Looks like he's in total control, and he looks like he's doing exactly what Bill Parcells wants him to do, to inspire his teammates.
8 out of 11. Second down and 6 from the 6-yard line, and the ball is handed off to Curtis Martin, who goes nowhere with 6 minutes remaining in the opening half. Patriots are used to playing close games this season.
So are the Jets.
Yeah. Jets, as we mentioned, 3 losses in the last 30 seconds. Parcells in his entire career with the Giants and the Patriots and the Jets until this year had lost a total of only 2 games in all of those years in the last 30 seconds.
Right. You know, in a few of those games they probably should have won, and a little bit better clock management, a little bit better play calling. The Jets, heck, who knows, they could even have a winning record right now. That's how close their losses have been.
3rd and 7, and they just do get the play off. Lucas buys time. Lucas throws deep, and a dive diving catch by Crabette at the 34-yard line, laying out, stretching out, catches it on his fingertips. Great play.
How great is it to have Wayne Crabette back on your team, who's missing at the beginning of the year? He's made catches like this in his 5-year career. Just makes him look routine. That's the type of player he is. And what I like here is Lucas's accuracy on this play. And look at that catch. Just put it near him and he'll make the catch for you. Now the question is, did he catch it? Ooh. Snap the ball, get the ball, hike. Who cares?
Too late for a challenge. 1st and 10 to the 34. Oh, wait a minute, not too late. If they snapped the ball, if they would have snapped the ball a little more quickly, but all of a sudden, Kukar was buzzed, in a manner of speaking.
Got to make it quick, man.
So the buzzer goes off. Now Kukar goes over to confirm that Carroll wants to challenge it.
Watch the ball here and let's see if it hits the ground.
New England has challenged the ruling on the field of a completed catch.
And this is a very big call because that was a 3rd down play from the 6-yard line. So if the challenge is upheld, it's 4th down and the Jets punt. Of course, the crowd encouraging Kukar. Kukar has a long way to roam to get over to the monitor.
There's a referee of the 90s. Turn that hat on.
Turn that hat back.
Way to go, Bernie.
Look at this. It's from the hood. Look at that. He's from the hood going under the hood right now.
And here we are looking at our coaches through the hood. I like
it. That is an unbelievable sound.
Look at now we have the time. Now we have the time clock and everything right down here. Look at this. You're getting fancy. So what do you think, Al? Does he overturn it?
I think he does. Bob Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, looking on with hope.
Now, you know, if you ask Wayne Crabette whether or not he caught it, he's going to tell you he caught it. But let's take a look here again. Can't tell whether or not his hand's underneath there or not.
I thought the other look may have been more conclusive or more definitive.
Take a look at it. His right hand, is it underneath the ball? It looks like his left hand is underneath the ball. It's close.
All right, Kukar well within the time limit.
After reviewing the play, the ball hit the ground. The pass is incomplete. There is no large timeout for New England.
Well, these are the reasons why we have instant replays, to make sure significant plays
they got it right
correctly. And they did get it right.
They got it right, yeah. And Bob Kraft exalts a huge play. Instead of a 1st down for the Jets up near the 40-yard line, it's 4th down from their own 6.
And we talked about Tom Tupa, the punter of the Jets. He's having a great year. The special teams coverage units are having a great year. His net is almost 40 yards a punt, which is an enormous number for a punter in this league.
Tupa, the best ever on Monday night in his Monday Night Football, the portion of his career on this evening. 46.2-yard average.
So that when we vote for all-time Monday Night Football team, would we vote for him?
Well, right now he'd be in the lead. But this one is a duck, but it's a well-placed duck, fielded at the 42-yard line by Troy Brown. And Brown brings it back to the 50-yard line. So who are the best ever to play on Monday night? You can go to Monday Night Football online now and cast your vote at ESPN.com or NFL.com. The all-time team will be announced Super Bowl Sunday right here on ABC. So you can vote for the all-time Monday night team, Boomer.
Well, I would vote for myself, but I didn't play that many games on Monday night. I think I had about 6 or 7, I think. But I would say Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, all those guys had great games.
Bledsoe to the 40-yard line. It is caught there by Glenn, and Terry Glenn is inside the 30 to the 23. So that challenge has turned the whole game around right now. Sean Jefferson with a block to help spring him,
with a
terrific 26-yard pickup.
An absolutely terrific block by Sean Jefferson that gets Glenn a few extra yards.
Here we are over 25 minutes into the game, and that's the first pass caught by a New England wide receiver.
Take a look at the pass protection for Drew Bledsoe. Look at that clean throwing lane. There's Steve Atwater unable to make the tackle. And right there at the bottom, the top of your screen, Sean Jefferson laid out a great block.
At the 23-yard line. Bledsoe throws, and that is caught, and that is Ben Coates making the catch to the 16-yard line. Patriots on the move. I suspect when we vote for the all-time Monday night team, Boomer, to look like voting for the all-time team period over the last 30 years.
Absolutely. There have been some great performances, Al, and certainly when I talk about quarterbacks, you have to think about Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Steve Young, Brett Favre, so many guys, John Elway. I mean, you could just go on and on and on. I don't necessarily know if there truly is one.
It's taken inside the 15, a little short of the first down.
But we might have our punter here, Tom Tupa, right?
Well, there are guys who have certainly enhanced their careers with tremendous Monday night performances. Seth Joyner a few years ago, Philadelphia at Houston.
How about Bo Jackson running down the sideline? Tony Dorsett, 99.5.
Exactly.
Right? Earl Campbell.
Jerome Bettis, as good as he is, seems to save his best for Monday night as well. And in fact, there's a kid who made one of the most spectacular catches in his. I can't even think of his name. Who was playing with the Giants as a strike player in '87. It was voted one of the 5 greatest plays in the history of Monday night. Jason Ferguson jumped here.
72 defense.
That's a first down.
Penalty, that results in the first down.
I would think if you're voting for offensive linemen, you'd have to vote for offensive linemen who played on winning teams, I would imagine, right?
Normally, sure.
I mean, because if you have, like, let's say you have a Hall of Famer like Anthony Munoz who played on the Cincinnati Bengals. Great player, had every Monday night game I ever played with him. He was great. But, unfortunately, we weren't on that many times.
He was pretty good on Sundays.
He was.
Thursdays, whenever.
How about Lawrence Taylor for the Giants?
At the 9-yard line on first down, Bledsoe throws, flag is thrown. Jefferson reaches for it and can't make the catch. At the moment, trying to sell the officials and coming down with it in the end zone.
It looks like they're going to call it on Aaron Glenn, I believe.
Illegal contact.
Illegal contact. 31 defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
But down here, defensive backs and wide receivers, the area is constricted a little bit. You don't have as much room. There's a lot more bumping going on. Officials will let you get away with a little bit, but they're going to watch it, especially if you're a defensive back knocking a wide receiver off of his route.
Allen and Floyd are in the backfield together, and Allen takes it on first and goal and gets bunched up at the 4-yard line. Ferguson is there, along with Roman Pfeiffer. It'll be second and goal with the 2-minute warning approaching. So Bledsoe will go over and talk it over with Carroll. Zampese will make the call as we come to the 2-minute warning in Foxborough. 2 minutes to the half, and New York on top, 7-0. So at a halftime show coming up, Chris Berman will have his top 10 for you, and then the Bowl Championship Series updated standings with the, I imagine Virginia Tech is going to be pretty happy about whatever takes place.
You know where I was this weekend? Nebraska, Kansas State. Have you? Lincoln, Nebraska. A football game is unbelievable. A sea of red, as loud as any stadium I've ever been in.
Second down and goal here. In a sea of blue, it is Bledsoe throwing, and it is not caught as Green was covering Rutledge. Rutledge looked like he had it on his fingertips and couldn't bring it in.
Drew definitely got away with one there. Interesting play design, trying to bring Ben Coates back underneath the other tight end and picking off Victor Green, but the ball got there late, and Drew Had to hold his breath watching Victor Green almost picking this ball off. One of the good things that Drew Bledsoe has been doing this year, no interceptions. He's got 4 in the games that he's played, and he's been smart, especially down here in the red zone.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down and goal. Jets rush 4. Bledsoe throws over the middle into a lot of traffic and incomplete. He tried to get it into Coach, but there were 2 Jets in front of Coach. And it's 4th down. Pfeiffer and Ray Mickens were both there.
Now, what can you say about the Jet defense just hanging in there? It's interesting the way that they're covering Coach. It looks like they're keeping a guy underneath them and a guy above him. And take a look at him here. Number 87 coming to the middle of the screen. 2 guys right here mauling him. And what Drew's trying to do is throw the ball. He should have thrown it high, not at the butt of Pfeiffer. But what I mean, give the guy a chance to make a play on it.
Coverage by Muggy. 23-yard field goal attempt by Adam Vinatieri, and that's good.
Well, if you're the Jets, if you're the Jets, you have to be happy. Your defense is playing well, keeping you in the game, and you're almost at halftime.
7-3 Jets. Tonight football is being brought to you by Cadillac, the power of and, the fusion of technology. Charles Schwab, when we created a smarter kind of investment firm, we also created a smarter investor. Norelco, for an unexpectedly close shave, put it to the test. And the St. Paul companies, property and liability insurance for business, without question, the St. Paul. Al Michaels, Boomer Esiason, Leslie Visser in Foxborough, where the Jets, who are 2-6, are leading the 6-2 Pats 7-3 with 1:46 to go in the opening half. Glenn and Stone are back for the Jets, and Vinatieri to kick. Very short kick into the wind, and Aaron Glenn from the 15 breaks it to the outside. Brown chases him down and chases him out of bounds on the return to the 43-yard line, where he runs right into Chad Eaton. Be a part of the phenomenon. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You'll see it on the West Coast following the game, and don't miss a new episode every night this week right here on ABC.
Again, here you go. Great field position for Ray Lucas in the offense of the New York Jets. Ball on the 42-yard line. Special teams answering the call, with the exception of the 1 run back that Kevin Falk had. This is the blueprint that Bill Parcells was hoping for, and they have the wind behind them now.
They have 2 timeouts. They have nobody in the backfield. It's vacant. They have 5 receivers in this alignment. Lucas and Malloy coming up, showing blitz and then backing off into coverage. And Lucas sprinting to his left to buy time. Throwing toward Johnson, and Keyshawn is able to haul it in. Ty Law with the coverage, and Keyshawn makes the catch at the 41.
And you talk about a great throw, a right-handed quarterback rolling to his left and throwing against the grain of his body. And I mean, delivering a strike. So certainly Bill Parcells has seen something in Ray Lucas over the years to give him the reins, and look at this throw. Ooh, what a nice throw.
Perfect ending to the play because he gets out of bounds. They conserve the timeout. The clock stopped with 1:33. First down at the 41-yard line.
Keyshawn lined up at fullback.
And now in motion. Mistake to Martin. Pressure. Pass is caught by Martin, and he can't get out of the grasp of Henry Thomas. It's a loss back to the 47-yard line. And now New York takes its second timeout.
And you talk about a smart play by a smart player. Henry Thomas did just that. They faked the ball to Curtis Martin, roll away from him and try to screen back, and Henry Thomas sniffed it out from the beginning. Well, when you're a 13-year vet, well, you should be able to sense those things, and I'm sure that he has seen that they have run this play on film many a times. And one of the things that Charlie Weiss likes to do as the offensive coordinator is create deception. And you have to stay at home if you're a defensive player, and you have to take your reads and go for the plays that you think are happening, and that's exactly what Henry Thomas did.
Action next Sunday night on ESPN. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire are in Jacksonville. It's New Orleans against the Jaguars. We keep on rolling. And we go to Denver, where the Oakland Raiders come in after their big win against San Diego yesterday. Rich Gannon with 4 touchdown passes, taking on the world champion and staggering Broncos, who today lost another starter, Eric Brown, for the season.
I can't say enough about Rich Gannon playing with a broken left wrist. He's out there taking snaps and throwing touchdown passes. And maybe, just maybe, the Oakland Raiders have woken up a little bit.
5 and 4 as they go into next Monday night's game. 2nd down and 16. Lucas against the grain again. That's caught by Corbett, and Wayne will get out of bounds to conserve some time with 1:16. But shy of the first down by about 5 yards.
So you wonder how the Keyshawn Johnson-Ty Law matchup is going. Watch this. This is 2 past MVPs of the Pro Bowl last year. Co-MVPs going at it, and he's making tackles. And it's not always about interceptions as a defensive back. Making those tackles and making those important plays when you have the opportunity to make them.
Jets spread it out. 3rd and 5. A key play from the 36, and they give it to Martin. He gets the first down, and a whole lot more. In fact, he gets a touchdown. On a 3rd and 5, running out of the spread formation with the ace back. The big hole for Curtis Martin and the ex-Patriot puts them up by 10 going on 11. 36-yard run, and there's an injured Jet. That's Jason Fabini, who's down back at the 43-yard line and in agony. And McGinnis is in a different kind of agony.
How you have your young quarterback back there making plays in the passing game, and all of a sudden everybody gets jacked up to try to get some sacks in a 2-minute drill, and you run a little draw. Watch Chris Slade, number 53, run right past it. And what you're trying to do when you run a draw play like this is play to the defensive's aggressiveness, and that's exactly what they did. And Chris Slade overran the play, and Curtis Martin, really all he had to do was just take it all the way to the house. And Katzenmoyer gets caught inside. The defensive linemen are thinking pass, and that's exactly when you have the right play on against the right defense.
Curtis Martin, 14 carries, that's 96 yards and a touchdown. This is a tremendous injury right now in terms of what the Jets can do for the rest of the game. I mean, a very impactful one, because you've got Jumbo Elliott with a bad back. He was a game-time decision in uniform but hasn't played. Fabini taking his spot on the left side. 2 rookies on the right side, and by the looks of that scene, Fabini at least done for the night, you would think.
Interesting, talking to Jumbo Elliott on the sideline, I said, could you play if you had to? And he said, Boomer, if I have to go in there, I'll just do it. I'll figure it out. And there is Jumbo right there. And he's had some back problems in the past, and the last couple of days I was told that he had a hard time getting up onto the bus yesterday. But take a look at some of these reactions. There's Ray Lucas. He consensus the touchdown. And take a look at the other side, and there's Pete Carroll knowing that his team was blitzing in a passing situation and they got caught. And that's the frustrating part of trying to match up your defense versus an offense and vice versa when the other team has such a play that works so well.
John Hall, snap a little high, Tupa gets it down, and Hall's kick is good with 1:09 remaining in the first half. It is 14-3 to New York. What's happening at halftime? Chris Berman.
All right, Al, thank you. Coming up on our Toyota halftime show, our top 10, which includes big, and I mean big, guys dancing. Little guys scampering. 100 pounds of play, a Great Dane, a Headless Saint, and the breakaway Colts again. Plus, an important change in the BCS standings. See you then, guys.
All right, Chris, as the New York Jets in Foxborough have a 14-3 lead. The Jets 2-6, and the only team really out of it is Bledsoe keeps warm on the sideline. The only team out of it in the AFC East. Clearly the best of the divisions in the NFL. In fact, if the Pats win tonight, 4 teams in this division will have 7 victories in their first 10 or fewer games. I say fewer because Indy and Miami have only played 9. There are the standings right now.
Take a look at this. If the Pats win tonight, they're tied for first. If they lose, then they go down to 4th place. Right? Interesting how good this is. And there is Jason Fabini taking off. That's Dr. Elliot Pellman, the medical director for the New York Jets, taking him into the locker room.
Taken at the goal line by Kevin Falk, who ran the last kickoff back 95 yards. Flags come in at the end of the play.
And you're going to have holding this time on the New England Patriots, which is going to put them in poor field position. And I can't imagine the Patriot offense opening it up this deep in their own zone against the wind.
Going against the wind
holding.
I have 2 timeouts.
37 on the return team on the run back. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Brad Seeley, who had been at Carolina as the Panthers special team coach, now here.
Here's Jason Fabini going against Willie McGinnis. And this is how good Willie McGinnis is playing, when he can take a big man like that and throw him to his back and hurt him at the same time. How valuable is Willie McGinnis going to be for this team the rest of the season?
First down pass from the 15, 61 ticks left and 2 timeouts. And Bledsoe into the wind, going deep and short, intended for Jefferson and picked off by Marcus Coleman. So the ball hangs in the wind, and Coleman brings it back to the 36-yard line, where he nearly had it stripped, but it goes out of bounds with 48 seconds remaining in the half.
And now that's what I was talking about, being careful going against that gusting wind, and you could see that ball just hung up there. If it was the other way around, he would have had enough to be able to get it over the defenders of the New York Jets, but that wind just sucked that ball down and brought it right to Marcus Coleman. He's got a strong enough arm, but when you're throwing against the wind like this and you're putting the ball high in the air, it's going to float on you.
And so the Jets now at the 36-yard line. They have 1 timeout, but let's take a look at the composition now of their offensive line. Bledsoe shaking his head in frustration. Jumbo Elliott has to come in.
Oh, he's not a happy guy right now.
On the left side. From the 36-yard line, Lucas throws. That's caught by Corbett. They're in field goal range. He's out of bounds at the 21-yard line with 43 seconds remaining.
Al, when you spread a defense out like the way the Jets are doing right now, if the defense decides not to blitz and play man-to-man underneath, guys like Wayne Cabret can beat anybody in football. And that's a matchup that you want to do the New York Jets. And I'm telling you, Ray Lucas looks great. He's dropping back, he's planting his feet, and he's delivering the ball on time. These were things that Rick Meyer wasn't doing when he was playing quarterback.
That's been his favorite target. He's caught 5 tonight. Play clock ticking down. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. And they give the ball to Richie Anderson, and Anderson takes it to the 11-yard line. About the last guy they expected to carry it, Teddy Bruschi. Now the Jets will conserve their timeout, and they will spike the ball at the 11 on a 1st down. So that stops the clock with 27 seconds. They have a 2nd down. They can get a 1st down without a touchdown. The ball at the 11. Or just inside, about the 10.5. And the crowd right now, very quiet in Foxborough. 14-3, Lucas checking his wristband.
And he better hurry up. He's got 13 seconds on the down clock, and he's got to get him in and out of the huddle.
2nd down.
And here we go, spreading them out again.
In the vacant backfield, 5 receivers, including Quinn Early. And on 2nd down and 10, reaching for it is Quinn Early, and the officials look at each other. They haven't made the call yet.
Well, I can tell you we can replay this, baby.
Well, we will. We know that, but let's see what the call is first. I haven't seen the call yet.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete
All right,
pass.
so now they're ruling it's an incomplete pass, but they had to go to Bernie Kukar to make the call.
This is awfully close, I'll tell you, almost. And it looks like that his right hand was underneath it. Let's take a look at it. Watch this. It's a terrific catch. That's a catch, Al.
Ooh,
Al, that's
boy.
a catch. That's a touchdown.
Now it's not reviewable by a coach here.
No,
it can only be stopped by the replay official. If he wants to look at it, he has to buzz Kukar.
I cannot.
Well, they're not even going to look at it. They looked at it. Now they are going to look at it. Okay. Every time we think they're not going to look at something. All right, we'll give you the most definitive look.
We are reviewing the ruling on the field.
This is a very tough call to make.
Right here.
Has it?
That's a touchdown right there. Touchdown. I think his hand is under it.
That's the key. Yeah.
That looks like his hand is under it. Now I don't know about the front, but if that's the most definitive view, then you have to say.
Again, it's the indisputable visual evidence. This is up to Kukar now to make the call. We've already had a challenge that was upheld. Turned out to be a very key play, working in the Patriots' favor. Kukar right now, before he takes a look at the play, is in consultation with the replay officials. They're going to, he's going to explain to them and vice versa what they thought. Now he's going to take a look at the play.
I mean, you look at it from this angle, does the point of the ball, that's a touchdown.
Ooh, boy, that is... I hate the hedge, but I got to tell you, this is a tough one. This is, well, there's the ball coming down.
Yeah, but his hand is underneath it. His left. Now the question is he going to be able to see that?
Yeah,
and say that it's indisputable. But right here,
looks like a little of the ball is. Well,
right, now if he looks at that right there, that's a catch. So when he's looking at, it's a fast one.
After reviewing the play, it is incomplete. The ball hit the ground.
I don't know. Well, that's what he sees, and
yeah, and that was the original call on the field.
But I will say to you that that ball did not hit the ground.
Well, they felt it wasn't indisputable, and so after all that, with 24 seconds left in the half, now the Patriots are going to take a timeout. The Jets have one timeout.
That's their second charge timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
It's going to be third down, 10 for the first and 10 and a half for the touch.
I think the Patriots got a break there.
Yeah,
but I can understand where, you know, Bernie Kukar, the referee, is in there and he's looking. He's probably not seeing this.
The Jets, meanwhile, have no timeouts, not the one because of the injury to Fabini in the last 2 minutes of the half that cost them a mandatory timeout. So it's third down.
So now if you're Ray Lucas, with no timeouts, if you're Ray Lucas, you have to be careful here. No sacks, throw the football away. If you're Bill Parcells, if there is a sack, Patriots going to call timeout again, it looks like.
There is no charge timeout. You cannot have consecutive timeouts.
But the interesting thing there is that they actually stop the play, and they allow the Patriot defense to reset themselves. There's no penalty against the Patriots. It doesn't make any sense.
For calling consecutive timeouts, which you can't do. Third down, it's a technical in basketball. However, third down and 10, and Lucas into the end zone, and it is caught. It is caught by Fred Baxter, the tight end. Baxter wrapped up in the end zone. The coverage was good, but the pass was into Baxter, and he makes it 20-3, going on 21.
Al, how good does Ray Lucas look? He puts the ball right where you want it, down low, in the body, gives his player a chance to shield Lawyer Malloy, the safety, covering Baxter. And watch this pass, and watch how it's in the body of the receiver. Ray Lucas looks good, looks solid, he looks sharp, and he looks definitive in the way he wants to throw the football.
Ball with the point after, with 20 seconds left. And the Patriot fans must be thinking, ain't this a fine kettle of tuna?
Well, we saw some crazy things happen yesterday, didn't we? And they continue to happen in this league. And take a look at this, a nicely thrown ball, and Baxter does a real nice job of being able to shield him, put himself in between the defender and the football and hold on to it. And how happy is Ray Lucas? This is why Bill Parcells likes this kid. It's because of that emotion right there and the way his teammates respond to him. I talked to him on Friday. He sounded confident. He was ready to go.
Whatever Pete Carroll says to his team at the half, he should say the same thing he said in week 2 when Indianapolis led the Patriots 28-7. And Carroll's team came from behind and won to 31-28.
Two things. They went for it on 4th and goal instead of kicking the field goal. And really, that last 2-minute drill throwing the ball down the sideline for a long pass against the wind, ill-advised.
2 killers. Ball's kicked. Fielded at the 2-yard line.
This I don't understand either. Kicking him off like this.
Kevin Falk. And he's tackled at the 30-yard line with 13 seconds remaining in the first half. Well, last week we were in Minnesota. A game dominated in the first half by Dallas. And then all of a sudden, after the Aikman injury, completely, and the Smith injury, completely dominated by Minnesota.
The difference is that Dallas fumbled at the end of the first half, and it gave Minnesota life. It gave them an opportunity to get a touchdown. The Jets' defense and their offense have really played exceptionally well tonight, especially this defense.
And they'll just run out the clock to end the first half. Lamont Warren. And they may be 6-2, but as far as the crowd is concerned, as is the crowd in just about every venue these days, what have you done for me lately? So they get booed off the field with the score 21-3 Jets. Coming up, the Toyota halftime show when we come back after this message from the NFL and a word from our ABC station.
When I was growing up, I had a dream to play football. But at 5'10", most said all I could do was dream. But I kept my dream alive, and today I'm a top-rated receiver for the NFL. I'm Wayne Corbett for the New York Jets. The NFL gave me my chance to make my dream come true. And I see a lot of people right here in the tri-state area who are getting their chance in life through the United Way. The NFL, the United Way, and you, the power of teamwork.
Son, I want you to remember that loyalty is what really matters. Come on, Jets.
He's looking slow. Gary Bradshaw!
Howdy, partner.
Go Cowboys!
Yes, go Jets!
He's got something!
Loyalty. Huh? What'd I tell you?
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Show, brought to you by Toyota Trucks, unbreakable every day. Now, from the ESPN zone in New York's Times Square, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Hello once again, everybody. Beware the Ides of November, and I guess the Patriots are finding that out, that it's tough to pick up ground in the AFC East, for that matter, the AFC in general. If the Pats come from way back to win tonight, they'd be the 4th team in their division to have 7 wins and one of 7 AFC teams to have 7 wins. The NFC, on the other hand, only one team has 7 wins, St. Louis. As we unveil our top 10, we look at the AFC East and salute a Colts team at full gallop and a Bills team that, well, once again, circled the wagons. Our top 10, Mount Washington. Ted Washington, the Bills defense, held Miami to 101 yards, and on 3rd and 1, Doug Flutie to Eric Moulds. Touchdown, breaking a team record, 5 straight games with a touchdown reception. The mark held by Elbert Golden Wheels to Benyon. Play 9, Brad Maynard G. Krebs. Not only was his punt for the Giants short, it was low. Look at the little fella, Terrence Wilkins. Could go all the way. He scored a punt return, kick return, a fumble return, and a touchdown catch. Play 8, Jason Garrett from Princeton. Rocket Ishmael, touchdown. Cowboys beat the Pack. Who needs the big 3? They're still hot in Big D.
We can take this thing now. We took care of business at home. Just keep fighting, gentlemen. You don't ever know what happens in this league.
It wasn't even about the big 3. It was about this team. The heart that this team has. And this heart bleeds more than just 3 players. Don't y'all ever forget it.
The Lions were looking for win number 7. They came up short against Arizona, but still impressed. Johnny Morton salts this pass away from Gus Farrat. 6 for 6 turnovers turned in by the Eagles defense. 3 fumbles and 3 picks. What? Including this one by Al Harris as the Eagles shocked the Skins. Play 5, Todd Light. Well, he's in St. Louis. Bud Light, 57-yard interception return. 6th return for touchdown this year by the high-flying Rams. Play 4 in New England, he was known as Big Play. But yesterday, he was Willie 100 pounds of clay. The one-hand pick for the Saints against the Niners, snapping a 7-game losing streak against them. Play 33, number 33, Ron Dane, Wisconsin. 216 yards rushing against Iowa. Now with 6,397 for his career. He's the new NCAA career rushing leader. congratulations to the Great Dane. Badgers again going to the Rose Bowl. Back to the NFL play, too. Keith Poole of the Saints takes a licking, but keeps on kicking against the Niners. He became the headless horseman, but the Saints won big. But play one, we moved to the Indianapolis Colts. The pass from Peyton Manning about 3 yards, but Edgerrin James does the rest. Let's get him go. Blow past and bowl over the Giants. The Colts have won 5 in a row. Is there any stopping them?
This is the NFL. It's a dogfight every week. But we're winning the dogfight. We're winning the dogfight.
Jim Moore proud of his rookie running back, Edgerrin James. He has over 1,200 yards in total offense to lead the NFL. The Colts, who lost 10 straight road games, have now won 3 in a row on the road. They stand at 7-2, tied for first in football's toughest division. Not bad for a team that went 3-13 the last 2 years. We'll be back with more here at the Zone at halftime. Kind of a stunner. Jets 21, Patriots 3.
Back to the Toyota Halftime Show. Once again, here's Chris Berman.
Enhanced TV is here at the Zone. You can play along at home by logging on at ESPN.com or NFL.com. In college football, another weekend of upsets creates a change at the top of the BCS standings. Undefeated Florida State remains number 1, but Virginia Tech moves into the number 2 slot following their 43-10 win over Miami and a Tennessee loss at Arkansas. Nebraska rolled previously undefeated Kansas State to move into 3rd. Number 4 Florida hosts number 1 Florida State this Saturday. If they win it, we're reporting more shuffling of the BCS deck next week. Of course, number 1 plays number 2 January 4th in the Nokia Sugar Bowl here on ABC. One other note tonight. Arizona's Randy Johnson wins the National League Cy Young Award. He becomes the 2nd man to win Cy Young Awards in both leagues. Gaylord Perry was the 1st. But tomorrow, Pedro Martinez, the Red Sox, will probably make it number 3. Speaking of Boston and New England, let's go back to Foxborough, where happy days for the Red Sox, but not for the Patriots, Al. It looks like that ghost of Bill Parcells is haunting the Patriots to this day.
No team he'd like to beat more than the Patriots, and who would have figured this one out at the outset of the game? The New England Patriots 6-2, and their 2 losses by a total of 3 points. The Jets 2-6 and are reeling, but in a span of 8.5 minutes, the Jets scored 3 touchdowns. The first on this pass to Keyshawn Johnson out of a tight formation. Then the Patriots, in an attempt to tie the game, eschew a field goal attempt, go for it on 4th and 1. They stopped Terry Allen. Then on a 3rd and 5, after the score was 7-3, Curtis Martin breaks one for a touchdown. And then after Bledsoe throws a late interception, Lucas hits the tight end Baxter for a touchdown. The score is 21-3. Boomer, I don't know what to make of this whole season. I mean, every time we turn around, there's a wild and wacky Sunday and crazy scores all over the joint. This is right up there with them.
It really is. And when you look at what the Jets have done, the defense has always come out and played well. The special teams have always played well for Bill Parcells. They're finally getting the offensive production that they were used to last year. And Ray Lucas has done a great job. He's 13 of 16. He's got a touchdown pass. He looks fluid in the pocket. He's making great decisions. Now, if you're the Patriots, don't panic. You're still well within this game. Go back to your normal game plan. Let Drew Bledsoe hit some short passes and start igniting that offense again.